Okay guys, last left you with the impression that I was going to cut a piece of jagged metal off there and line it up with the body seams and give it a little bit of a grinding so that I could actually tack weld it into place, and I've done that. I've cut this piece off right here. It was sticking up quite a bit above the edge. Cut it a little lower than I really wanted to, but it doesn't matter too much, I guess. In fact, I think that if I heat this a little bit with a torch and squeeze this a little tighter just with a hammer, then all I need to do is put some Bondo on it. I don't think it's going to need much tack welding. I might maybe put 1 or 2 tacks, maybe at a couple of 3 places strategically, just so that it doesn't vibrate and crack the Bondo once the Bondo is on there, because Bondo is susceptible to vibration and will crack, and we don't want it to crack, because if it does, it'll fall off and then we'll lose our seal. So I probably will put just the odd tack or 2 there, just to make sure that it doesn't crack the Bondo. And once again, I had to grind this down here a little bit to use the sanding disc on the grinder to get that cleaned up enough to get the paint off it, that I can, maybe put a couple of tacks there. I got a couple of pop rivets solid, but then again, like I said, metal has an opportunity to vibrate a little bit, and you got Bondo on it, the Bondo will crack, so it's probably better to put a few tacks on there as well. I'll put a couple of tacks down here, so if those pop rivets do come out, or if they happen to come loose a little bit, then we won't get any cracking in the Bondo, at least not anytime real soon. So having said that, we'll grab the torches again, heat this lightly, tap it with a hammer, get it up nice and tight, and grab the good old MIG welder and see if I can throw some tacks on there with a MIG welder, and then from there we will prep it for Bondo. Actually, no, before I can prep for Bondo, I've still got one little section down in here, like I said before, that needs some tack welding. Where is it? Right here. This piece needs to be shaped a little more, tack welded. I had it shaped and thought it was in good and everything, and then I realized that it wasn't shaped very well, and it was going to require an awful lot of Bondo to bring it to the proper shape of the door. This kind of has to round up and match the shape of the door. The Bondo is going to do that, and I don't want to use too much Bondo. I don't want it to be a ½ inch thick, so I had to reshape that a little bit in there. So now I may end up reshaping it just a little bit more yet too, possibly, but for the moment we will leave that, and we will focus on this area over here. And I've also got to find the 2 holes for the bracket that holds the Bumperette on. Do that right away. So yeah, next get this tacked in place, find the holes for the Bumperette, drill through so we can actually put the Bumperette back on, and then the bumper back on when we're ready. And then we will consider going to pick up a can of Bondo. Go to Canadian Tire and get a quart or next size up, whatever it is, of Bondo, and see if I can get this side all Bondoed up and sand it down, looking half decent. Probably have to grab a can or 2 of primer too, at least 1 can of primer while I'm over there. Unless I've got some here. I used to have some here. I might have some. I'll look around. Anyway, until then, peace out.